Transport MIDI controls. These are the MIDI controls in the transport window. So let's open the transport window through Windows menu down to transport. Now on the right hand side you have a little triangle and go in and open MIDI controls. Now MIDI controls are the 4 buttons at the base and the window above it. So the 4 buttons. On the left hand side we have wait for note. Essentially you can put Pro Tools into record and it won't actually record until you play a note on your keyboard. It's a MIDI function. To the right of that you've got metronome. Now if I was to double click on metronome you get to the click count off options window. So I can have the click during play and record, just during record, or only during count off. And at the bottom here I can select how many measures or how many bars I use as a count off. Now you see here we have 2 bars. I could double click on that and go back to 1 bar. Now to turn count off on and off is just quite simply you click on the word count off. To the right of the metronome you have MIDI merge. Now MIDI merge, again a MIDI function. If you were to have Pro Tools in a loop, you could record drums, you could record the kick drum on the first pass and then loop round and do the snare drum and then loop round again and do the hi-hat. So that would be MIDI merge. To the right of that we have the conductor button. Now if you notice here the 120, the BPM here is grayed out. That's because the tempo is coming from the tempo track here. Now if I was to disassociate or turn off the conductor track, now here the tempo is manual. As you can see in the tempo track it says we're in manual, and now I can be at 88 BPM. I'm going to go to track and hit create click track. Now I've just created a click track here, and if we hit play you see we have a tempo of 88, and if I was to go back to the conductor track now we have a tempo of 120. I can also, for example, highlight the manual tempo, and with T on the keyboard I can listen to somebody playing and actually pull the tempo. So if by repeatedly hitting T I can find the tempo. There we go. And return to validate it. Above the tempo you've got the meter. So if I double click on that we have meter change. So here I could go into 5/4, 12/8, 3/4, whatever. And below that you have click resolution. So the click track every 8th note. There we go. I'm going to go back to a steady quarter note 4/4. So there you have it. We've looked at the tempo, we've looked at the metronome, we've sorted out the click resolution and the meter, and now we're ready to record.